And we are on switch rental bag number 4. And for number 4, I chose this mini Verrou from Hermes. So if you like a quick review about this bag, just keep on watching. And hi, if you're new here, my name is Elaine, and on my channel, I like to talk about bags from mid-range to vintage luxury. And if you are returning, thank you guys so much for your support and viewership. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Like I said, this is my 4th bag rental. So I did Hermes, Loewe, and now I'm back to an Hermes bag. I've actually always been kind of curious about this bag. So in my mind, I always called this the bathroom lock bag because, you know, voila, voila, voila. It is a bathroom lock closure. I'm sure for a lot of us not familiar with horses, this is a bathroom lock closure, but actually Hermes got the inspiration from the locking mechanism on a horse stall, like in a barn, which makes sense, you know, goes back to the heritage. But unfortunately, yeah, it's not that popular. I mean, I think it's kind of funny. It's an ironic thing to put a lock of like a public bathroom on a really nice fancy bag. I think if you're not in the know, you would not know that this is Hermes. This is the only one on Switch. They only have the 17 size. The Verrou does come in 2 sizes, the 17 and the 21, along with a clutch, which is even smaller than this. For the mini size, they do also come either with a chain or with a canvas strap. And then I think for the bigger size, the 21 size, also might come with a canvas strap, but also comes with a leather strap, much like the Constance, where there's 2 square loops here and then there's a piece of leather that goes through. This one is 2-toned. As you can see, it's a red and a pink. Honestly, I would never buy this bag, but obviously as a rental, it's worth a shot. So this is Chev leather, and on the inside is Milo lambskin. Inside there is a flat pocket here, along with a main compartment that has another 2 flat pockets. And then it also comes with a back pocket and feet. So that is the bag. The chain is fairly short, so I mean, it can't really be a crossbody bag. Definitely not for me anyway. Yikes. It like hits right at the boob. So, I mean, right under the boob, I guess. But yeah, it's a really awkward spot for a crossbody. It's definitely more of a shoulder bag. If I remember, I will do some mod shots. I almost pulled the trigger once on a Verrou. I think it was going for like $5,000. And I was like, oh, I don't know. It's kind of a lot to spend on a bag. 1, from the real where there's no returns, and 2, for a bag with a bathroom lock closure. So when I saw this on Switch, I was like, you know what? I want to give it a shot. But as I suspected, the 17 size, the mini size is just way too small for me. But let's just see what fits. All right, so first and foremost, the phone. And it just fits. So as you can see, it basically takes up almost half the space. Say I wanted to add a card case. Ooh. Okay, I also have a pop socket, so that makes this phone real tight in here. But yes, the card case does fit, and then say 1 lip product. It's gonna have to go on top. I also brought sunscreen, thought maybe if I could fit it in, but it will not fit. So I can put the lip product on top like so and lock it up. Okay. And there you go. That's it. I mean, of course, you could put, you know, I don't know, cards in here if you needed to. Overall, it's a very sturdy, compact bag. I guess, you know, this size is really meant for an evening out because it's a smaller size and for the chain. Let's see how much it weighs before I go over the pros and cons. So it weighs 14.2 ounces, just right about an ounce under a pound. So the fact that it weighs just about a pound, I'm sure has a lot to do with the chain, because goat skin, Chev leather by itself is actually fairly lightweight. As for the bag, of course, beautifully made, beautiful leathers, you know, neatly stitched. But my thoughts on the lock. So first, when I first saw it, I actually thought it was great that it did have a little sort of like receptacle here, little, what's it called? Little hole, and then you do have a little hole up here so that you can easily find where it's supposed to lock. I think otherwise, you know, you would, if you didn't have that, you would just be kind of going like this, and it would be a lot harder to slide the lock through. So I will give points to Hermes for thinking about that. That does make the lock itself a lot easier to open and close, especially close, I would say. And, you know, the locking mechanism's very smooth, very well made. I think if you do need to go in and out of this bag a lot, though, it is kind of annoying to have to slide it in and out every single time. I guess that's why they did put a back pocket here in case you wanted to stuff something in there. I don't think a phone would fit. Actually, ooh. Take off the case. Maybe without the case. Oh yeah, so without a case, the phone could fit something like that, or just stand it upright. So in a pinch, if you don't have a case on, that could work well. I think with my grippy case and pop socket, yeah, I mean, it works. You are kind of stretching out the back pocket a little bit. But in a pinch, you know, you could leave it like that, but that's not cute. Let's see. Other than that, I just noticed this kind of slid out on its own. I don't know if that might actually happen once in a while. So this thing here itself is pretty, oh yeah, so it does happen. Oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed by the chain. Let's see. So if you don't lock it down onto the notch, if you just leave it out like that, it will just slide in and out. So keep that in mind. You do have to secure it every single time. But probably the most annoying thing for me is the chain. I'm not a huge fan of chain bags. I mean, even with Chanel bags, I don't love it. The chain definitely digs in. The chain is definitely heavy. I hate how it, like, you know, clanks around, especially when I'm trying to do this review. It's not very comfortable to carry this way. Of course, like I said before, I would never buy it with a chain. So as for my thoughts on this style of bag, I actually would be open to trying out the 21. So for reference, you know, this is my new to me 24 trim duo. And as you can see, I love this bag because it expands. I did do a whole review on it, so check that out. But this bag, even though it's a mini bag, it does fit quite a bit. Anyway, so this is probably the smallest I would ever go, is like a 24. I do like the Verrou lock style. I know it's odd, but I think that makes it unique. But this is coming from someone who's had a Constance and sold my Constance because I don't like the Constance. So not a huge fan of like that big H. I think this is to me more of like it's a conversation starter. You know, get ready for some potty humor probably when you're carrying it around, but I think it's fun. I do see the 21 size does come in Epsom, which does make it light. I don't think it comes in Chev. I think that would be too expensive to make the bigger one in Chev, but I would be open to one in Epsom in probably a more neutral color, maybe like a green or a blue even, but definitely not red or pink. I do see a pink one right now on the Real for a fairly good price. I think it's pretty worth it. A little history on the Verrou. Verrou means bolt or lock, so obviously. And according to, what is this, Gemini, the bag was first created in 1938, but it was relaunched in 2010 to 2017. I don't think they have it right now. Actually, I do see the Verrou, the smaller size, on the website occasionally. So I guess they still make it. I don't really see the 21 that often. I do think I would be willing to try the 21 size. I mean, it's, I think, very expensive when it first came out. So according to Gemini, the Verrou, this style in Chev leather, is anywhere between $86 to $9,100. And then the Epsom is about $82 to $87. The Verrou 21 in Epsom is about $9,500 to about $10,000. And I guess they make a Barenia one, Faubourg, that's $10,500. So honestly, I would never pay almost $10,000 for this bag. But yeah, the one on the Real right now, the 21, it's the color Magnolia. I think that one's going for about $3,000 something. I think that's on the low end. I would say they probably average around $5,000, which is about half price, you know, so they don't hold their value. But if you are looking to buy a secondhand, I do think you can find a pretty good deal. I have to say, I kind of scoured eBay looking for this in Japan, and I don't think it was very popular in Japan. I think to them, the whole public restroom thing is a little too much. They don't really want to do potty humor in public. So you won't really find good deals through Japanese resellers. I saw a bunch coming from China. I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. Not on eBay. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this interesting, I would appreciate if you give it a like. Maybe if you've seen some of my other videos in the past and want to see more of these types of bag reviews, I kindly ask that you consider subscribing. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye!